A pineapple at the supermarket costs $3 to $4. Sounds normal, right? But what if I told you this fruit takes 2 full years to grow, or that it travels thousands of miles in an unbroken cold chain, or that farmers lose 15% of their harvest? In this video, I'll show you the incredible journey of a pineapple, from field to store shelf. And trust me, there's way more behind that price tag than you think. Let's get started. Today, I'll explain in detail why pineapples, which cost more than most fruits in supermarkets, are actually so expensive. From the moment a pineapple is planted to the day it reaches the store shelf, it goes through a process that's much more difficult, risky, and costly than you might imagine. In this video, we'll examine the specific climate conditions pineapples need, the growth period that can last up to 2 years, the losses during harvest, and just how exhausting the labor is. We'll take a close look at problems faced by producers, especially in Mexico and Central America, sudden weather changes, damage to farmland, and regional crises that disrupt the supply chain. We'll discuss how all of this affects pineapple prices in the United States. Let's dive into the secret world of pineapples and start with the first step, cultivation. Unlike most fruits, pineapples go through a long and patient journey, and you'll be surprised when you hear just how long it is. As a tropical fruit, pineapples need temperatures between 18 and 32 degrees Celsius, high humidity, and plenty of sunlight year-round. Since most of the United States can't provide these conditions, nearly all pineapples on store shelves come from Central American countries like Mexico, Costa Rica, and Honduras. So what's happening in a field thousands of miles away? While you subscribe to the channel, let's take a closer look at how farmers plant pineapples. When preparing the field, the soil is carefully worked first because pineapples need acidic, well-drained soil that doesn't retain water. Otherwise, root rot is inevitable. Tractor use, fertilizer, pesticides, all of these represent significant costs right from the start. Then, the seedling or shoot is planted. And now comes the most incredible part. It takes 18 to 24 months for a pineapple plant to bear fruit. Or you heard that right, almost 2 years. But here's what's even more surprising. After such a long wait, the plant yields only one large fruit. Think about it. A farmer plants pineapples today. They'll have to wait 2 years to earn income from that single fruit. Throughout this time, new costs pile up every month. Watering, spraying, weeding. But there's no income yet, only expenses. So what if something goes wrong during this process? What if a hurricane hits? 2 years of work? Gone overnight? What if there's a sudden freeze? The entire harvest is at risk. What if heavy rain strikes or a disease spreads? The farmer might never earn anything from that fruit. So pineapple production is a long-term, risky investment that requires serious patience. Completing the 2-year growth cycle is only half the battle. Now the real challenge begins. It's time for harvesting, one of the most labor-intensive and critical stages. And here's the problem. Pineapple harvesting is done entirely by hand. Why don't they use machines? The reason is simple. Each pineapple ripens at a different time. In the same field, some fruits are completely ready while others are still green, so workers must check each pineapple individually and select only those that are perfectly ripe. But timing is everything. Cut too early? The fruit won't reach full flavor. Cut too late? The risk of spoilage during transport skyrockets. Even a one-day mistake can make the fruit inedible. And then there are serious physical challenges. Pineapple plants are covered with spiky leaves and tough stems. Workers wear thick gloves, long-sleeved clothing, and protective gear. This equipment alone is an added cost. Now imagine this. You're doing all of this in 30-degree heat, with high humidity, bending over for hours, carrying heavy fruit. It's exhausting, and you have to pay experienced workers what they deserve. That's why harvesting costs make up a huge portion of total production expenses. But here comes the really bad news. Let's talk about spoilage rates. During a harvest, some pineapples get damaged. They're cut too hard, crushed, or picked at the wrong time. Some don't meet market standards and end up as waste, and the numbers are shocking. On average, 10 to 15% of harvested pineapples are either damaged or fail quality control. Even if a farmer grows 100 pineapples, they can only sell 85. 2 years of work, 15 fruits wasted. So harvesting is much riskier and more costly than it appears, but the journey is just beginning. And of course, the journey isn't over yet. Now it's time for processing and packaging. The harvested pineapples are first transported to a processing plant. Here, each pineapple is cleaned individually, its leaves are trimmed, and it's sorted by size. Each size goes into a different price category. Pineapples that fail quality control? Discarded here too. Another loss. Then the pineapples are placed in special cardboard boxes. To prevent crushing during transport, each one is wrapped individually or protected with foam. And this is where the biggest challenge comes in. The cold chain. Pineapple is extremely temperature sensitive. If it's not kept between 7 and 13 degrees, it spoils quickly. Too cold? The inside turns black. Now think about this. This fruit will travel thousands of kilometers, and it must stay at the ideal temperature the entire time. What if a cooling system fails? The entire shipment is ruined. That's why at every stage from field to market, in trucks, on ships, in warehouses, pineapples must remain refrigerated. But how far is that? Let's look at the distance. From Mexico or Costa Rica to different US states, it's anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 kilometers. That means days of travel in refrigerated trucks. And it's not just by road. Some pineapples travel by ship. Huge refrigerated containers, port operations, transfer points. Every step means extra cost and extra time. And if the pineapple comes from another country, customs procedures kick in. Documents, taxes, inspections, all of this causes delays and additional expenses. Now let me tell you the most critical part. Remember this, a pineapple's shelf life after harvest is only 2 to 3 weeks. Even the slightest delay in transport can mean the fruit spoils before reaching the shelf. That's a serious risk for distributors. It's a race against time. Rising fuel prices in recent years have made things even harder. Refrigerated trucks consume far more fuel than regular trucks. So as diesel prices climb, transportation costs climb right along with them. All of these logistics processes, processing, packaging, refrigeration, transport, customs, storage, directly impact the final price of pineapples. And finally, pineapples arrive at warehouse stores in the United States. But the journey still isn't over. There's one more step, getting onto the store shelf and into your hands. The average price of pineapples on supermarket shelves ranges from $2.50 to $4. So what's included in that price? Let's break it down, step by step. First, production, soil prep, seedling costs, 2 years of watering, spraying, weeding, and labor. The total cost for a farmer to grow one pineapple averages between 80 cents and $1. But that's just the beginning. Then comes harvesting and processing. Harvesting labor, processing facilities, and packaging materials at another 30 to 50 cents. Now we get to the big player, transportation. Let's move on to logistics, one of the largest cost items. Maintaining the cold chain, transport over thousands of kilometers. High fuel prices, customs, and storage. All of that ranges from 70 cents to $1. This amount is lower in states close to production areas and higher in distant states. And finally, the market. In the final stage, the market comes into play. Operating expenses like storage, staff, electricity, rent, plus the added 30 to 35% profit margin. That adds another 80 cents to $1. Here's the price breakdown. So the price of a pineapple breaks down like this. Production cost, 80 cents to $1. Harvesting and processing, 30 to 50 cents. Transportation and logistics, 70 cents to $1. Market expenses plus profit, 80 cents to $1. Total, $2.50 to $4. But is the price the same everywhere? Of course not. In states close to production like Florida, pineapples sell for around $2.50. But in inland states like Montana and Wyoming, prices can hit $4 due to longer transport distances. The season matters too. There's also seasonality. Although pineapples can be grown year-round, supply drops during certain periods, especially in winter when weather gets rough, harvesting slows and prices rise. In summer, production increases, so prices dip a bit. Looking for organic pineapples? The price goes up even more. Organic certified pineapples can sell for $5 to $7. That's because organic farming requires more labor, yields are lower, and certification costs are high. In recent years, supply and demand have also affected prices. Rising shipping costs after the pandemic, higher fuel prices, and production declines due to climate change, all of these push pineapple prices higher. So behind that $3 to $4 price tag you see at the store, 2 years of hard work, a journey spanning thousands of kilometers, the sweat of dozens of workers, an unbroken cold chain. Now, when you buy a pineapple from the supermarket, you'll see the incredible journey behind it much more clearly. And that price tag? It'll make a little more sense. In this video, we examined from start to finish why pineapples are so expensive. If you want more content like this, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Write another fruit you're curious about in the comments, and we'll explore it in the next video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.